By now, I know you've heard about XLOOKUP, which is more superior to HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP. And we are going to have 5 instances where we can apply XLOOKUP. And we're going to start with the simplest of them. Is equals to XLOOKUP tab to autofill. The lookup value is that name, then the comma. This is the lookup array, Control Shift down. And I want to fix that formula because I want to drag down my formula. Press on F4 to fix everything, comma. Then we want the return array. Now I want the formula to return me the age, so I highlight the whole of that column, Control Shift down. Again, I fix my formula like that, and we are done. Everything else is optional up to this point, and when I finish my formula at this point, it will return the exact match. So that's by default, unlike in VLOOKUP. So I put the brackets, hit on enter, and I have the age for this person. I send the formula down and I have the age for all of them. So suppose we don't have a name like this or someone like that one. So we now have NA errors. What we need to do is to now proceed with the other options, put a comma, and now we want to tell the formula what to do in case it doesn't find the name that you are looking for. So anytime you want to use words in Excel formula, you'll have to put them between the quotes, the double quotes. So I put the quote and I want the formula to tell me that that person is missing. And I close the quotes like that and I hit on enter. I can send the formula down. And you can see this person is missing, so the formula will tell me that that person is missing. So that's one instance of XLOOKUP. Now let's go to the next one. So in this example, we are going to use XLOOKUP to grab the values along the rows, that is horizontally, as compared to when we use them along the columns, which is now vertically. Now vertically will be for VLOOKUP and now horizontally will be for HLOOKUP. But now we are going to use XLOOKUP to do what HLOOKUP would have done. Is equals to XLOOKUP tab, and then the lookup value will be that one, comma, and the lookup array will be the names. Highlight the first one, then Control Shift arrow, and then we fix the formula, F4, and the return array will be the age because we are looking for the age. Highlight the first one, Control Shift arrow, then again we fix the formula, pressing on F4, and we are done. So we can close the formula because we want to have the exact match. Hit on enter, and we now have the age. Send the formula down, and we have the age for everyone here. So we check on Jaden. Jaden is 25, and you can see we have 25, so we are accurate. So this is XLOOKUP doing what HLOOKUP would have done. So in our third example, we have the first names, but we don't have the second names. And I want to use them to get the second name so that we get the full name. And we are going to use XLOOKUP. So in this instance, we're going to use wildcard. And it's going to help us grab the full name. So we have the first names and we want to grab the second name. So is equals to XLOOKUP like that, tab to autofill. And the lookup value will be this one. And we are going to start with this one because it is the first name. If it was the second name, we would have started with the wildcard and then the cell reference. But now, because the first name is in this cell reference, we're going to start with the cell reference and then we're going to insert the wildcard there. So this is how you do it. You insert double quotes, but you'll have to join them using that. Then you insert the wildcard between the quotes, double quotes, and then you put asterisks and then another double quote, and then now you can proceed. Now we have the lookup value, then we go to the lookup array, which is now this one. We highlight the whole of it, and because we are going to drag our formula down, let's fix everything by pressing on F4. Then we put the comma, the return array, we want the full name, so the same table, Control Shift down all the way up to the bottom. And again, we are going to drag the formula. So we're going to press on F4 to fix it. And then we're not going to use this option, so we are going to use the match mode. So we skip it. Then you navigate all the way to wildcard, which is number 2. You can press on a tab to autofill, and then we close the bracket like that. Then hit on enter. And now we have the first and the second names merged together to form the full name. So if I go to Taylor, Taylor is Taylor James, then Alfie will be Alfie J, then Jaden will be Jaden George. So here we use XLOOKUP and use the first name to grab the full name, which means that it went and grabbed the second name and added to our first name. Suppose we have the second name, we are going to change our formula slightly. So let's just delete that and let's go to Taylor. So we now have the second names of these people, and we want to grab the first one and complete the whole name. The same way we did XLOOKUP, but this time we are going to change where the wildcard will start from. We are going to start with the wildcard and then join it to the cell reference, and everything else will remain the same. So in this case, we're going to is equals to XLOOKUP as usual, and then we're going to start with the wildcard. So we put asterisk between the quotes like that, and then we join it to the cell reference, and then we just click our cell reference like that. So go back to grab the lookup array. We are going to fix it because you're going to grab the formula down. So fix it like that, comma, and then the return array will be the same table because you want to grab the full names. Control Shift down as usual, then F4 to fix the table, and then we are done. But we'll have to go to the match mode, so we skip the first option, we go to the second one, we go to wildcard, tab to autofill, then we close our formula, hit on enter, we drag the formula down, and we have the second names. So we have a fourth example, which is very interesting, and we are going to nest XLOOKUP in another XLOOKUP formula. So first of all, I want to create a data validation here. Highlight, go to data validation, and click on data validation. I want a list. So the list is the list of the names. So go to the first cell, Control Shift down to highlight the whole of that table, click on OK. So now we have the data validation. I can just click on the first person there, that's the name. I want the second instance where, for example, if it's James, I'll be able to select the age, the number, the email, ID, or anything else I want about James or any other person from the list. So I create the second data validation, go to data validation as usual, the same thing. I want the list and the source. I want the age, number, email, ID, and the medals. So click on OK, and I have them. So I can be able to select James or any other person. Let's say just that person there, and I can be able to grab maybe their email address and their ID or anything else that I need from them. So what I'm going to do is in this table down here, this is where I want to see whatever I want XLOOKUP to grab for me. So is equals to XLOOKUP tab to autofill, and the lookup value will be that one. The lookup array will be the name. So highlight all the way up to the end. And because I'm not going to drag my formula down, I don't need to fix it. So put a comma, and then we go to the return array. So the return will be affected by what we've selected in this second cell here. So this is where we are going to nest our second XLOOKUP. So we put XLOOKUP again, tab to autofill. What we want to look up for is the medal or whatever we are going to select about the name that will be selected up there. Then we put the comma, and then the lookup array will be the age, the number, the email, and the medal. Put the comma. We are not dragging the formula down, so we are not going to fix anything. And then the return array will be, because we've selected age, number, email, ID, and medals, this is the lookup array for everything that we are going to require. So that will be the return array. So put the comma, and because we want exact match, we are not going to go anywhere else. So just delete the comma and we close our nested formula, and then we close the main formula. So hit on enter, and Jamie Ray was able to get 3 medals. So let's go to another person, Alfie J. So they had 2 medals. So I want to get their emails. Click on email, and you get Alfie J and the email. So you can select any person, Bobby James, and we can select, maybe you want to know how many medals they have. They had 3, and I want to know their age is 28, their email address is that. So you can be creative with it and get anything that you want. So this is why you should love XLOOKUP and the formulas in Excel. So if you think this is interesting, just give us a subscription and hit the notification bell so that you get to be notified every time we upload something as interesting as this one or even more. And you can check us on TikTok. We have some very short videos which are very interesting, and we can continue the conversation in the comment region, and let's meet in the next one.